have finished writing your book and now you want to get it published. So what are the ways or options that are available these days to get your book published? Hi, I'm Ishita, author of the book Stories from the City Called Kolkata. I'm also a freelance writer and a writing coach. In this video, we'll discuss about the different options that are available to get your book published. So, number one option is traditional publishing. What traditional publishers? They are the renowned publishers like Penguin, HarperCollins and the like. And what you have to do is, if you want to get published through their channel, through their house, is you have to submit your book proposal, and you can directly apply through their website, or you can contact them through a literary agent. So you are approaching them and you are submitting sample chapters of the book proposal, and obviously they'll look into it, and it takes time obviously because they are very busy, and maybe after 6 months to a year or even more, if they consider your manuscript, if it is selected, they'll contact you and let you know, and then you sign a deal with them, a contract. Okay, so you sign a contract with them. So congratulations if that's something happens with you. So that's a great thing obviously, because till now, even today, traditional publishing is considered as a very prestigious option. So if you are signing a deal with a traditional publisher, it's a huge event as an author. But also you have to understand that often you don't crack the selection procedure. Sometimes it could be that maybe you are a novice, so you don't know the nitty-gritty of the things, or it could be like something else. Maybe you need to work harder, and you have to polish your writing skills even more, or whatever. So that's the thing. Now, the advantage of getting published is, one thing is for sure that it's a more prestigious option, but also if you get traditionally published, it's easier. It's easier because because you are author from such a renowned publishing house, so naturally your book promotion and all of that, you'll get a lot of help from them. You have to do some bit of book promotion and marketing and all of that by yourself as well, but getting published through such a renowned platform is it's a huge thing, because a lot of things are taken care of. You don't have to have headache on which book cover to choose and what to do here, how to plan the marketing, how the distribution will be like and all of that. So it's more, you can say, hassle free, and it's less headache as an author you have to face. So that is there. Apart from that is it's a good thing, as I told already, that it's a prestigious thing. So it's it adds to your CV. So all of these advantages are there. But the disadvantage, I will not say it's a disadvantage, I'll say that problem, or you can say the thing that can happen, the negative downside thing here is that maybe your work will not get accepted, and maybe after the whole waiting process and all of that, you get to know that okay, they have not accepted your book proposal, and it can happen. So, and it can happen for even if you're a very good writer, you have a well-written book, still it can happen. So many eminent authors also got rejected in their first first few tries. So it can happen. So all about traditional publishing. As I'm not a traditional published author, so I'll not be able to talk about it in finer detail. So I'll move to the next option here, that is self-published authors. So who are the self-published authors? Self-published authors are you are in charge of everything. So you are not only the author, you are also like in charge of the entire book, from starting from designing the book cover to editing, proofreading, designing the entire book, then book distribution and all of that, marketing, all of that. You are the boss. Maybe you can hire an expert or maybe a number of people for your project, but the thing is still you are the boss, because either you are doing all of that or you are getting it done through others, but ultimately everything is in your hands. So obviously the cost that is there, that also you have to bear. By the way, I didn't mention that in case of traditional book publishing, there's no cost involved for an author. They do not have to bear any charge, any cost. But in self-publishing, you have to deal with everything, starting from the book design, from editing services, proofreading services, whatever services you take. And some services you'll have to take because you cannot be all in one. So naturally, if you take some services, you'll have to pay for that. So all cost, all charges, that will be borne by you. But here the advantage is also this, that if you promote it nicely and generate a good deal of profit, all your profit will be obviously yours. Depending on the channels through which your book is getting sold, like obviously there would be some channel costs, so that apart, the entire remaining profit will be yours. So this is about self-publishing. And self-publishing is quite a good option because as I said, it's really tough to crack the traditional publishing industry. So if you cannot open the door of traditional publishers, so you can opt for this. It's not at all like nowadays, it's not at all like considered as like you are less of an author if you go through this mode. Not at all, because there are many self-published authors who are really doing well. And also if your book is like after releasing, if it does a real good business and it becomes very popular, maybe then a traditional publisher can approach you and then can sign a contract with you, sign a deal with you, and that also happens. So all possibilities are there. So this is about self-publishing. Now the third option here is vanity publishing. So who are the vanity publishers? Vanity publishers are those publishers who are people who have their publishing house, who have their set of staff who will do the editing, proofreading and all of that for you. But obviously they charge you for that. So, and they generally have like customized packages, like they have different types of packages to choose from. So you choose a package and then you you get your book published through them. So this is how a vanity publisher works. And here it's the difference from self-publishing and vanity publishing is that although you are paying a vanity publisher, but here you are using them, so obviously they'll cut some amount of like profit from the book sales, and also you'll not have complete control, although they'll sit with you and design your books and all of that, like they'll maybe discuss about the book promotion strategy or all of that. Okay, but the problem is they are more interested in getting new manuscript, new authors. So they are more interested in that rather than sitting with you even after your book is published and sitting with you and discussing how your book can go, can do even better business or how it can be promoted, because they are not much interested. They are more interested in getting the payment from you, and obviously they'll do the work and let it be out, let it be published to the world. But after that, some kind of their work is finished, so they'll not further talk about how well things can be done, or if any rectifications or if any modifications are needed, or if a new strategy can be applied to promote your book. All of that they'll not talk about this more or less. I mean, I can tell that they lose interest after your book gets published. Also here, another thing you must keep in your mind is sometimes there are a lot of scammers in this business who pretend to be a vanity publisher, and they tell you that they'll give you this share of a book sales and all of that, from you'll get this amount of royalty, but then they steal your money. Maybe they don't show you the honest report, or they kind of don't give you the full royalty. So all of that is again there. So in vanity publishing, the problem is, although you are giving the money, and you sometimes authors think like, it's because, and especially the new authors, they kind of think that because I'm not using the traditional publishing house, maybe if I go through a vanity publisher, they are as good as the traditional publishers, and they'll handle things for me, they'll make things easier for me, because if I go with a self-publishing mode, then all the headache is on me, and like I'll have to decide, I'll have to do all of that. So maybe they are not so sure, they are not so confident what to do, how to promote the book and how to get it distributed. So often new authors, they are hesitant, and that is why they opt for the vanity publishers, because they believe that vanity publishers do have the experience and they have the know-how of the industry, and that they have. But as I said, most often it is seen that if they are even honest, still what vanity publishers usually do is that after your book gets published, their job is done. So even if you want to later on, if you want to make some changes, maybe you want to change the book cover, or maybe you want to kind of implement some new book promotion strategy, or you want to do this or that, any kind of new further changes, or if you want to discuss how to promote your book even further or like that, so they'll maybe give you another package to consider. But as I said, they will not be much interested in doing going the extra mile for you. But if it's a self-published book, so you are the boss, so anytime you can make any decision. Like maybe you can stop selling your book from a channel, and you can start selling it in another channel. So all of that, all of the decision making power is in your hands. So this is the thing, this is the difference between self-publishing and vanity publishing. And there's also another type of publishing, it is called hybrid publishing. Okay, hybrid publishing is they kind of is a mixture of traditional and vanity. They will say that they'll select your manuscript, means they will kind of, I'll say it's a type of pretending to be a traditional publisher, because they kind of will tell you that they do not publish any book just like the vanity publishers do. So hybrid publishers will tell, no, we don't select and publish just any book, we'll go through your manuscript, we'll consider it for a while, and then they'll also make you wait like the traditional publishers do. So maybe they'll make you wait for a few months, and then they'll come back to you, and then obviously because that's their business, they'll select your book, and then they'll kind of ask you to again choose a payment, and you are to decide which payment and which package you will opt for, and then they'll go for publishing your book. But here's the thing, I think hybrid publishers are not, means this is my personal opinion, I don't think they are a very a reliable option, because first of all, they are not telling it clearly that they are not traditional publishers. So they are kind of pretending, I would say, to be traditional publishers, but then they are not traditional publishers. So ultimately they'll publish your book, and they'll also take the money and work function just like a vanity publisher, but only they do not declare themselves as vanity publishers. Also, there's this category in this hybrid publishing only, I'll tell, there's this category of publishers who will not even mention that they are hybrid publishers. They'll tell you that, we are traditional publishers. Even in their website, you'll see they are traditional publishers. But what happens is, after they'll also make you wait and go through the selection process, and after that, when they'll select your book, Then what they'll do is they'll ask you to buy, say, n number of books. Maybe you'll be asked to buy 100 copies or 200 copies of your books. The reason being means they'll give you this reason that because you're a new author, so maybe they'll incur a loss if they publish your book. So what's the guarantee that so many people will buy your book? So they can't take so much of a risk, and then they'll ask you, they'll request you. It's not request, actually they'll ask you that, you know, if we go with this book, then obviously you will have to buy say 100 copies or 200 copies of your book. So that's the thing. So I think you've got an idea about the different publishing options that are available. Now if you ask me which one I prefer, I'll say that see, obviously traditional publishing, it's the ultimate goal, and it should be the ultimate goal of all authors. So, and traditional publishing means I'm talking about the renowned publishing houses that are available, like HarperCollins or Penguin or Rupa Publications, kind of those renowned names. But if you are not selected, because it happens that when you're a new author, maybe you do not know the nitty-gritties, and you may not be able to crack through all the selection process. It's not because your book is a bad book, but because maybe you're not so thorough about the criteria and all of that. So it could be that your book is not selected. In that case, I'll suggest you go for self-publishing, because in self-publishing what happens, yes, you have to take all the responsibilities, but the advantage, a big advantage here is that everything is in your control. So no one is acting for you, and no one is also able to, like, you know, no one is able to like do anything, like no one is able to take your profit or, you know, any of that. I mean, all those disadvantages of vanity and hybrid publishers, so you'll be able to avoid if you go with self-publishing. Because in this case what happens is surely you are the boss, so the pains you take, and then whatever good that returns back, whatever book sales and whatever the, you know, good things that happens, everything just comes to you completely. So you don't have to share profits with anyone, and you can always control things your way. So that being said, so that is all I had to discuss today. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you found this content, this video helpful. Please like this video and share it with your friends, and in the comments let me know how it was, and if you have any request about what I should make in the next video, you can put it down there. And my channel, as I told in the introductory video, it's all about books, writing, publishing, and also I like to talk about personal development. So if you have a request, like what topic you would want me to talk about, so you can put it down in the comment section below. This is all I have for you today. Bye bye and take care.